welcome to our first coffee chat of 2021. I'm super excited. I have my last peppermint mocha of the season. It is the very end of all of the peppermint syrup and all of the peppermint mocha creamer, so it's the last one in this super cool new mug that I got for Christmas. Let me hide my face so it'll focus. It's color changing, so you can see on the bottom where it is warmer, there are characters, and then at the top they're just like blue. So really super cool. I love it. I just got it for Christmas from my mother-in-law. She got me kind of like a Disney themed Christmas, so I got like a couple of Disney items, which I'm very excited about, as you know. And yeah, so we're gonna pop right in. Today we have a couple of things to talk about. I want to talk about what you can expect in 2021, how December went. I will tell you what some of my goals are today because I have gotten some questions about that, as well as we're going to talk about TPT descriptions, and if we have time we shall talk about what to do if you feel like giving up, because I've also gotten that question. So we're gonna hop right on in. I feel like we don't need a lot of catching up, although you should know that it is New Year's Eve, so there are fireworks and my doggies don't like them, so I may end up with a German Shepherd on my lap. If that happens, just a heads up. But I just talked to you guys for like every day for a month. So if you missed it, we just had Vlogmas where I vlogged every day from December 1st until the 25th. It was so much fun. I enjoyed it so much. I told you at the very end of the last one how much I enjoyed it and how much it meant to me, and I got a lot of good feedback from y'all. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to do that again next year, although I also am hopeful that next year will be a little bit busier than this year was. So we shall see. As far as TPT in December goes, I did want to tell you because I've gotten a lot of questions about sales. If your sales are down, that's normal. I made less than I have in a month since like summer. I mean, it was still fairly comparable, but it was less. So if you're like, oh my gosh, my sales are down, that's normal. If you had no sales on like Christmas and the couple days after, or even this week, that's normal and that's okay. So don't stress about that. I've had a lot of people asking, like, don't worry, people are just on break. Things will return to normal in January. Also in December, all of my best sellers and what makes me the most amount of money are holiday resources. So if you do not have any holiday resources and your sales were down, that might be a contributing factor. So maybe next year, try for some holiday resources. Now, if you watched my video at the beginning of December where I talked about what to do in December for your shop to get ready for the new year, I mentioned not to do holiday resources. I want to clarify. I am all about holiday resources. I love holiday resources, especially in December. I have Hanukkah resources and I have Christmas resources, and next year we're gonna have some Kwanzaa resources, and they do very, very well. The reason I told you not to make them was because that video came out after December had already started. And so by the time the video came out, there were only like 2 more weeks of school before Christmas. If you get something out and there's only like a week of school, you're just not gonna sell very many of them that year. Now, next year, yeah, you might sell some. So if you had already made it for your store, that's for your school, then that's cool. But I didn't want you to spend a bunch of time on something that was only gonna sell for like a week. So that's why I said, don't worry about holiday resources in December. I try to get my holiday resources out by November at the latest. That way you have plenty of time to sell them each year and all of that. Which is also why I suggested maybe doing some wintry resources so that they would continue to sell, because I find that I have like snowman resources that sell very well even like in January and February. So that's another route that you can go, is kind of like winter instead of holiday. But I did want to throw that out there for people who were like, why are my sales down? The world's ending. Like, I feel you. It stings having days where you make no money, especially when you're used to getting that cha-ching every day. But it is normal. It's okay. Don't stress about it. I would also like to say, for the record, I did look more pulled together than this, but I forgot I was gonna film this today, and I came home and I changed it and I was like, oh, oops, and so then I didn't change it again. But I got this sweatshirt for Christmas, and it is the softest thing of my life, and I never want to take it off. Also, I hope you can't hear all of the fireworks because they are a-going. So next up I want to talk about this freebie that I mentioned in my last video, which was the 2020 review. In that video, I talk about questions that you can ask yourself to review your year and see kind of like where you should be improving and how next year can be even better. And I also mentioned in there whether or not I hit my goals for 2020, because that's one of the questions. For that, I was like, oh, well, I'll put these questions on a little sheet of paper and make it a freebie and people can get it. And it turned into this whole thing. So instead, you now have, it's like 12 or 13 pages of a freebie that you can get down below. There is a printable PDF version and also a Google Slides version if you are a techie person and not me. I keep getting flack about my notebooks. People are like, why are you using notebooks? Why aren't you using Trello? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? I like my notebooks, friends. I like paper, I like pens, I like notebooks, I like stationery. Leave me alone. I just like my things. So I did make it digital for those who like digital, and also a PDF version if you're into that. And so it has a couple of pages that are these like review pages and ask you lots of different questions. There are, they're like all out of order because I was taking pictures of them. So yeah, we have more review, more review, more review. There's one that has like a place where you can put your goals and then whether or not you hit them, why or why not, because that's a big thing that you should think through. And then we go through your long-term vision, and then we go through your next year. So we talk about different goals, what you want to do, what you want to be, and also a plan by the quarter and by the month so that you can do all the things. So if you would like all of these things, you can click the link in my bio down below to get it. And if you're on my email list, then you already got it in your email on New Year's Eve. So there's that, all of this. Do you ever do that where you're like, I'm gonna make this little tiny thing, and then it becomes like this big, huge thing? On that note, I mentioned in December that I had these 2 books that I was reading to prep for the year. And I told you I hadn't read them, so I didn't know how they were. Update. Loved them, would 100% recommend both of them. I will link both of them down below. This one is more of a book, but it's actually a very quick read, and it gives you lots of tactical steps for what you should do in order to have your best year ever. So this one is a little bit less book and a lot more workbook. So it has a lot of prompts for you to think through last year and think about next year, and some really good ways of explaining things that I really liked, and very focused on online business. Also, the second half of the book is all like planning pages for next year. So it goes like monthly and quarterly and has all these things. So I'm excited to try those out this year. I haven't tried them before, but I shall see how I like that. But I would highly recommend both those books. I will link them below. No, it's not too late to grab them now. Along with that, let's talk what to expect in 2021. So this year, I obviously will still be making YouTube videos, and specifically, I would love to know what topics you guys are interested in. So leave your topic suggestions down below. I know that I want to do some videos about book blogging and YouTube and like that long form content, because I've been getting a lot of questions about that recently. So that will be on the horizon. Also on the podcast, I have a podcast, first of all, Becca's Teacherpreneur Academy, and most of the podcast is just the audio from my YouTube videos, but I just did a few podcast interviews with some other people, so there will be some guests on my podcast. Really great conversations. You're gonna love them. I will make sure to promote the heck out of them on Instagram, so make sure that you are following on Instagram. It is at becca.e.davis, so you know when those come out. With that, let's talk briefly about my goals for 2021. I was gonna make a whole video about that, and then I was like, you know, it's probably better to actually like give you tangible things for your life instead, so I ended up not doing a like my goals for 2021. But I will tell you a couple of them. This year I made over 20,000. 20,000 was my goal. Hit that. So my goal for next year is to double that, which is a lot, I am aware, but that is where we are headed. And then that would put me at 40. My pizza's on the way. That would put me at 40, but if I hit 46, that will put me at $75,000 total, which is one of the TPT milestones. So I decided that instead of 40, I wanted to make it 46, because I'm like, if you can hit 40, you can probably hit 46. So that's my goal for 2021. It is very ambitious because doubling and more than doubling is ambitious, but I am excited about it anyway. Other than that, a few other things that I'm working on include some mini courses for you, so more on that later, and updating my current course to include more modules. So if you already are a part of my course, Level Up Your Teacher Business, there will be more coming soon. All right, next up, we're gonna talk TPT descriptions. So I've been getting questions about your descriptions and how you should write them. For your TPT descriptions, your first paragraph needs to be keyword rich. That means words people are searching for. So grade levels, subjects, all of those kind of things. For me, I teach elementary music, so I'm going to put elementary music in my first paragraph. This is called the snippet, and it's where TPT like takes the keywords to figure out what your stuff is about. So I'm gonna put elementary music. If it's for first grade, I'm gonna put first grade. If it's talking about rhythm, I'm gonna put rhythm, and I'm also gonna put like quarter note and all these different things in there to make sure that all of the keywords are there. Now, do make it readable because people are reading it and it is your first paragraph, but make sure you just have all that information in your first paragraph so that the algorithm will pick those up. After that, the way I like to do it is to go really in depth into what the product is. So if it's like a game, I will describe it in great detail. If it's worksheets, I will say, you know, there's this many worksheets. We have, you know, worksheets for this, like very, very descriptive, very detailed. After that, I like to have a bullet point version of it, so it says exactly what is in my product so that people who are just glancing can see it really quickly. So I'll say there's this many pages, it covers this, there's a page for this, there's a page for that kind of stuff. After that, I am always going to recommend that you have related products linked there underneath that. So I'll say if you like this, you might also like, and I'll put a couple of products that are similar. Definitely do that. I would say do like 5, maybe even 10. Do a good bit there so that there's just lots of different options. And then at the bottom, I like to put all of my like social media handles. So I'll say let's be friends, and I'll have a link to my email list, a link to my YouTube, to my blog, to my Instagram, all those different things. A lot of people, another thing that you could add in there, you do not have to, but you can, is the TPT follow link, or remind people to follow you, so that they will have that little reminder. You can get the follow link on your dashboard. Another thing that would be good is to remind people to do reviews. So you could say, hey, did you know that you get credits if you write reviews? And that will just kind of give people an extra reminder. I don't do those two things. Maybe I will and see how it goes, but you are welcome to do those as well. All right, this might be the shortest coffee chat that we have done so far, but my pizza's on the way, so I'm gonna talk quickly. The last thing I wanna talk about is for the people who are wanting to give up. I've gotten messages from people who are very discouraged, very frustrated that they're working really hard and just nothing's happening. And unfortunately, the best thing I can tell you is that you need to be patient. This is not an overnight thing. I am never going to tell you that you are going to be an overnight success. I'm not going to tell you this is quick. I'm not going to tell you that this is fast. I'm going to tell you it's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of patience. So if you feel like giving up, I would, 1, really look and see what is working and what's not working. 2, look at yourself and say, okay, how much effort am I actually putting in? Because sometimes it seems like we're putting in more effort than we are. And 3, I would say, just have some patience and maybe give it another year, maybe give it another 6 months. Maybe try one thing really hard for a few months and see how it goes, and then adjust from there. I will never advise you to give up. I will advise you to pivot, so just lean into whatever is working. And if you are spreading yourself really thin, trying to do lots of different things, maybe narrow it down and see, like, if I just spend 3 months really working on this, see if that helps. Look at your products, make sure that you have enough products for you to get found in search. I'm always going to recommend 50. Make sure your products are pretty and appealing so that people will want to click on them. And find something that motivates you that's not the money. I know that's hard, but like for me, I love the creative aspect of it. So I love the creativity. I love making things. I love the creation, and that's what sustains me. Even when I had no Instagram followers, I had no YouTube subscribers, I had nobody buying my stuff, I was making $7 a month. What sustained me was that I enjoy creating. And then as I got a few more people, what has helped a lot is that I am sharing things. So even if you maybe are making YouTube videos, no one's watching them, you're still sharing. you're still helping. And remember that all of these are going to help in the future. So in a year from now, you will still be making money from products that you created now. In a year from now, people can still see your videos that you created now. So think long term and find some motivation in something that is not the money, because the money's going to come and go, and it's just, it is what it is. All right, friends, this is definitely the fastest coffee chat that we have ever had, but I'm gonna leave you anyway. Thank you so much for watching. Leave in the comments down below what you would like to see this year, what you're interested in, what you're working on, your goals for this year. I would love to know what they are. Don't forget to grab the freebie, and I will also link those 2 books down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.